Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, each week I share with everybody my meal plan for the upcoming week. The reason I do it is because I think it's really important to have a meal plan to save time, to save money on purchasing just what you need. It just makes your life a whole lot easier to know what you're going to make for dinner each night and not have to go crazy each day trying to figure out what you're going to do and then maybe possibly ordering out. So each week I share my meal plan. Of course, you could follow along if you like the recipes or the meals that we make, or you could just use it for motivation to sit down and create your own meal plan for the next week. Sometimes maybe you might hear something that you're like, oh yeah, I haven't made that in a while. I should put that on my meal plan for this week. My meal plan runs from Saturday through Friday. It comes out every Wednesday morning. I shop on Thursday night, so that's why I have the episode come out on Thursday, because that way there's enough time to, if you were going to follow along and make any of the meals, you have enough time to shop before the meals start on Saturday. That's when the meal plan starts. Also, I just do dinners. We don't really plan meals for lunches. We usually just do like leftovers or, frozen pizza sandwiches, something like that. And I also follow a really simple meal rotation. I don't try and make different recipes all the time. I do make new recipes here and there, but I basically just rotate the same similar meals that we eat, and it just makes life super easy, and it makes meal planning really easy, because if I know every 2 weeks we're having hamburgers, as soon as we have hamburgers, 2 weeks later, it goes on the meal plan on that Monday again. And by the time I get to each week, the meal plan is basically already mostly built, if not fully built. Sometimes I have to stick in a meal here or there, but by just kind of doing a rotation of meals, it just makes life so much easier, especially if you're in like a busier time of life. And then if you want to, you can always switch things out. Like, at least the meal plan's there. And then if that week comes and you're like, oh, I really want to make this, then just swap something out. But if you don't have time, at least you already have a meal plan. With the things that you normally eat or the things you normally make. I will also share where the recipes are located if they're online. And then I do also post them on my Facebook page if you're looking for a link for them. So let's get into the meal plan. So like I said, the meal plan starts on Saturday. And this week, Saturday happens to be Halloween. So I wasn't actually planning on cooking on Halloween. But what I decided, and I actually already had this pumpkin chili on the meal plan from last week, I decided to wind up making that on Halloween because I wound up hurting my foot last week and I couldn't cook for like 2 days. We ordered out. So I had some meals that I was going to make that I wound up making, and one of them was the pumpkin chili. So if you listen to last week's meal plan, you'll remember that that was already on the meal plan. So for Halloween, I was originally going to just order out like pizza. My kids aren't going to trick or treat this year. They just don't really want to, just with everything going on. They just felt like it would be more fun because they don't really know like how things are going to be, and we're just not really sure. I don't know. That was their decision. They're teenagers. They're both in high school. But they decided that they just wanted to stay home, get snacks, like do fun stuff at the house, have candy for like any kids that do come to the house. And I was going to order out, but then I was like, oh, well, I never made pumpkin chili, and that would be a really kind of fun thing to have on Halloween. So I decided I'm going to make that on Halloween. And then I'm also going to make a dessert, which is called slow cooker pumpkin bread pudding. And I thought that sounded really good. I have not made this recipe before though. I've made bread pudding before, but not this recipe, and not a pumpkin bread pudding. So I can't say for sure if it's going to be really great, but I can't imagine how it couldn't be. It's like bread and pumpkin and cream and sugar and everything like that. So I just can't imagine how it wouldn't be good. But that recipe is located at recipesfromapantry.com. So we're going to try and make that, and we'll have that for dessert on Halloween night. So then on Sunday, we're doing quick baked chicken parm, and that is from allrecipes.com. It's just a really simple chicken parm recipe where you bake the chicken first. You bread it and bake it in the oven. It bakes for a while, and then at the end, you just take it out and put the sauce and the mozzarella cheese on it. I think it comes out really good. It's a really easy way to make it. It's on the healthier side for chicken parm because it's not fried, although fried chicken parm is really good too, but I try not to make that except for like, you know, special occasions. So it comes out really good baked this way, this recipe. I think I already said it's from allrecipes.com. It's called Quick Baked Chicken Parm. And then we're just having spaghetti on the side with that, just like box spaghetti, jar of sauce, really no recipe there. So that's for Sunday. For Monday, we're having a ribeye steak. So I occasionally make that, and there's really no recipe for that. I mean, pretty much what I do is I just get a ribeye steak. I like the ribeye steaks because I don't know, I really don't know how to cook steak too well, like as far as knowing exactly how to cook the different cuts. And I find that ribeye, as long as I marinate it, well, I don't think the marinating so much is the texture so much. I think it's more about the flavor. It gets a really good flavor when you marinate it. But the ribeye steaks, I just always find they come out really good. They're always like tender, probably because their fat content is higher, I'm sure, because that's what makes the steak tender. But I don't know, I just find them easy to cook. So all I really do is I just put the steak either in the morning, or sometimes I've done it as soon as I buy it. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag and put olive oil and red wine vinegar and some Montreal steak seasoning in the bag, and I'll marinate it either the day that I'm cooking it, or I have in the past, which I probably should start doing again because it made it really convenient. When I bought the steak, I would put it in the bag, put that stuff in and seal it, and then freeze it that way. That way, the day when I took it out for making it that night, it would already be in the marinade. And I wouldn't even have to worry about it. I would just take it out of the freezer, let it defrost, it would sit for a while in the marinade, and then I would just cook it that night. So how I cook it is, if it's in the summer, I just throw it on the grill. If it's in the winter, or like when rainy or cold or whatever, I don't feel like going on grilling, you know, even if it is the summer, I will cook it under the broiler in my oven. But if you do cook a steak under the broiler, be super careful. Make sure it's not too close to the broiler, because I actually caught a steak on fire, I don't know, sometime, it might have been last winter, I forget when it was, but it was really scary. And it was because I had the steak too close to the broiler, and like the grease splashed up and caught the broiler flame on fire. So you always have to watch when you're broiling something too. Like, I never leave the kitchen if I have something broiling. And I did happen to be standing right there, and all of a sudden, like this, like on the stove, like where it said high, like for where the broiler like was set at high, it started like flashing like something. I can't even remember what it was flashing, some kind of warning error. So I opened up the oven, and the steak was on fire. Like, the whole steak was in flames. So I pulled it out. I was able to just blow it out real quick, and we were actually still able to eat the steak because I was standing right there. So it literally had just happened. It was kind of like if you have a steak on a grill, and it like sometimes like the grease will drip, and then you'll get like a big flame, and it'll catch it on fire real quick, or you know, and it just kind of goes out really fast. So it was kind of like that. But it was super scary to open the oven and see flames. So what I did was I just took it out real fast. I blew it off. I'm trying to remember. I feel like the flame was still going in the oven, and I just shut it off. Like, I shut the broiler off and shut the oven door, and it just went out. And then like it wouldn't let me turn the broiler on for, I don't know, maybe another 10-15 minutes or something. And then I was able to turn it back on, and I lowered the steak down a notch. Like, I put the what do you call it, like the rack in the oven down one more notch, and then I did finish cooking it, and it was fine. I know it's not funny that I almost caught my oven on fully on fire, but we were kind of joking that the steak was flame broiled, whatever. So yeah, you just be super careful. That's a long rant about cooking steak out of the broiler, but anyway, sorry about that. Just be careful if you are making it under the broiler with steak, because of the fat can pop up and catch the broiler on fire. And then with the ribeye steak, we're having fried rice. This recipe that I'm making is from mydaintysoulcurry.com, and it's an Instant Pot fried rice recipe. So it's really pretty easy to make. Although my kids actually also like to, when I just make it on the stovetop, I think they're both good, but they do come out a little bit different. The one in the Instant Pot comes out probably a little bit softer, just because I've had issues in the past when I made fried rice in the Instant Pot where I got like that burn message. If you have an Instant Pot, you probably may have gotten this at some time. It's when you don't have enough water, and the bottom won't have enough water, and then it'll burn, like the stuff in the pot will like start burning to the bottom. And I've had that happen before when I've made fried rice. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong or whatever, I don't know, but so I always add a little extra water so the rice does come out a little softer when I make it in there. But it still tastes really good. I really like that recipe. This one that we're making this week with the ribeye steak, and I think it goes really well with like a steak or something like that. But sometimes also I will just not follow a recipe and just kind of like saute up some like stir fry vegetables, make some eggs, and then I'll just make some rice, just like white rice, even like minute rice, whatever, and then just kind of saute up the rice, the stir fry vegetables, and soy sauce, and what's the oil? Oh, I could picture it, sesame oil, and then mix in the eggs at the end, and that comes out really good, just very simply like that too. I know you're supposed to make the rice ahead of time, and the rice is supposed to be cold when you make the fried rice, like on the stove top. But many times I just make the rice right then and cook it, and it comes out fine. But it is supposed to be a tip to use cold rice. It's definitely supposed to come out better that way. Okay, so Tuesday. This Tuesday is Taco Tuesday again. So nothing special here, no recipe. We just buy taco shells, we buy hard shells, soft shells. I put out lettuce, tomato, sour cream, avocados, taco sauce, cheese, and I just cook up some ground turkey or ground chicken, and I put some seasoning on it. I don't even buy taco seasoning, honestly. I stopped buying it a while ago just because, I don't know, I was doing a lot of different things to try and save money. And at one point I would buy like the taco seasoning, like the big container, and to season it like that. But then I started just taking like seasoned salt and chili powder and just kind of seasoning it like that while I was cooking it. And it tastes just, I don't know, I think it tastes good like that. So we make that. And then, and I also always do like a can of refried beans too, because my one daughter that doesn't eat meat, she'll make the taco with the refried beans. Sometimes I do make a lentil taco filling for her when we're doing tacos, but this week I'm just doing the refried beans. I do one or the other. So that's what we're doing this week. So Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. We do tacos every other Tuesday, and then on the off Tuesday we do like a Chipotle night where I make like homemade like Chipotle bowl type meal. Okay, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday we're doing a shrimp scampi bake. This recipe is from allrecipes.com, and pretty much it's so easy. It's just you take a pan, you put butter and Dijon mustard and lemon juice, and you're supposed to do chopped garlic and fresh parsley. I never do that just because I'm lazy and I don't usually have those ingredients on hand. I usually just go real simple on the ingredients. A lot of times I just skip things, but it is supposed to have that in there. And then you just put the shrimp, you put that in the oven first so that like the butter melts. Well, I guess you could melt the butter first, but I don't do that. I just put it in the pan. Actually, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, in a saucepan, put the butter, lemon juice, all that stuff, and cook in a saucepan, and then you put it in the big dish with the shrimp and bake it. But what I do is I just put the butter and the Dijon mustard and the lemon juice and all that right in the baking dish, and I just put it in the oven while it's preheating so that it just melts. And then I do that like while I'm peeling the shrimp, and then I take it out and it's all melted, and then I just toss the shrimp in there, mix it all up, and you bake it. And then when it's done, we just toss it with some spaghetti. Like we just do like a box of spaghetti, toss it in with the shrimp, and then sometimes if it needs it, I'll add a little extra olive oil or butter or whatever to the spaghetti, but it makes like a really quick, simple, easy meal. So that is for Thursday. I'm sorry, not Thursday, that's for Wednesday. Thursday is usually our soup night or breakfast for dinner night, because that's the night I go grocery shopping. So I try and keep the meals really as easy and quick as possible, because I don't want to have to go grocery shopping after work and then come home and have to cook like some big dinner. Not that I'm really making complicated dinners on the other nights. I always try and keep it pretty easy, but those Thursdays I try and make even quicker and easier. So this Thursday we're doing crock pot potato soup. And I don't actually even have a recipe. I have a recipe, but I don't have a link for a recipe. So I'm not even sure where I got this from. It's so weird. It just occurred to me that there's no website for this. But pretty much all that you do is you get a big bag, like a 32-ounce bag of potatoes. Like you could do the hash brown type potatoes, not like the shredded ones, but like the chopped ones, or any kind of like cube potatoes. And you put that in the crock pot. You put vegetable broth. You could do like, this is 32 ounces, but what I do is I forget. I'll usually just look up and say like, how many cups is 32 ounces? And I'll just use like the vegetable bouillon cubes, just because I don't buy broth. I just keep the bouillon. I think it's cheaper and it's more convenient, because I don't always necessarily need to use up all the broth once I open like a box or a can or something like that. So I'll put the bouillon cubes in there, and then it's a can of cream of mushroom soup. And then it also says 8 ounces of cream cheese. That's supposed to go in at the end, but honestly, I never put the cream cheese in at the end because it comes out just as good on its own. But yeah, so I'll do that, and then it just cooks all day, and it really comes out super, super delicious. And it's just a really good potato soup. And you could have it with grilled cheese. I actually wasn't going to do grilled cheese this time, but it's actually really, it would go really good with that too. So that's that one. Hold on, I'm just checking because I thought I had a different crock pot soup recipe too, but I can't seem to find it because I thought I had another one. Actually, you know what? I'm just trying to think, because I feel like last time I made a different, I'm going to take a look in a second after I tell you the Friday meal. I feel like I made a different potato soup last time I made potato soup. And I don't know if this was actually the one, because this one just has the cream cheese at the end. But I thought that when I made it last time, I did... I thought that I had put like heavy cream in at the end. And as I'm looking at this recipe, I don't see the heavy cream. And I remember it was really good. So either way, I would say, oh, you know why? Because I'm thinking of a corn chowder. Never mind. The potato soup does not have heavy cream in it. This is the recipe that I made. I was thinking of the corn chowder that I make. So anyway, so the potato soup, and I definitely, grilled cheese definitely goes good with this on the side. So I didn't actually originally plan to do that, but I think I most likely will have the grilled cheese with the potato soup. So, okay. So sorry, I'm just like really talking way too much this week. So that was Thursday. Friday, we're doing penne with broiled chicken, and that's not a recipe. I just pretty much boil up some penne. I broil chicken under the broiler. I just cut it up in small little pieces, and I put some olive oil and some salt and pepper, and just broil it on high and cook it like enough so that it gets almost like a little bit of a crispy consistency. And then I just toss it in with the penne with some more olive oil and like some seasoning, like just like some salt and pepper. And then I toss some shredded mozzarella cheese through it, and it comes out really good. My kids really like it. So that's just another really quick, simple meal. And then with that on the side, I'll just do like a bag of frozen vegetables. I usually always keep like the steamed fresh type vegetables in the freezer, just like a variety. And I'll usually just look in there and grab something that I think goes good with that meal. Like frozen broccoli might go good with that, or, you know, something like that. So that's it for this week. I hope this was helpful to you. And I hope you enjoyed listening. Don't forget, if you like this show, please subscribe. If you'd like to reach me for any reason, for feedback, for whatever, anything you'd like to reach out to me for, you can reach me at facebook.com/Lola's Frugal Life. We also have a private listeners group if you're interested in joining. We talk about things related to the show. Topics in the future will include, of course, meal planning, budgeting, frugal living, cleaning, all that kind of fun stuff. So the listener group is at facebook.com/groups/Lola's Frugal Life. I check it every day, so you'll be approved right away if you submit a request to join. Also, don't forget, if you enjoy this show, to subscribe. I don't think I said that already, did I? I hope I didn't. Sorry, I may have said that already. But anyway, so yes, if you like this, please subscribe. It definitely helps. And then also, if you wouldn't mind leaving a 5-star rating in whatever platform you listen, that would be so much appreciated. My understanding is that really, really helps in having the show be found by others. So I'd really appreciate that if you have the time to do that. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a really awesome day.